What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back with the second round preview and picks for all the Sunday games. Unfortunately, I can't get Ty to do this video with me today, but I do have his picks in and we'll see what he did. But before I get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below to get us to 500 subscribers, where we will be doing that giveaway. But first, we got to talk about Friday's games. And Ty went 11-5, where I went 13-3. I got right back into it, only one game down heading into the Saturday games, and you'll see the results for Saturday and Sunday in our Sweet 16 video. But VCU and Purdue obviously were both where we went wrong, and then Ty and I just had a few different upset picks that went my way. Nothing too crazy, but good round of basketball, and obviously FDU upsetting Purdue is the story of the tournament so far. And then we'll start on Sunday with Pitt and Xavier, and I'm going with Pitt in this one. I think first four team. Always, it seems like for the last few years, I can't remember the stat, but has at least went to the Sweet 16. I think it's 3 straight tournaments now, and I think that trend is going to continue with Pittsburgh getting it done against Xavier, where Ty's going with Xavier, and the more built for the tournament team. Even if they had Fremantle, I think I still would go with Pitt here, but Xavier, I think their season falls short. At 240, we have Kentucky going to play Kansas State in the East region. And I like Kansas State in this one. I think their story with Keontae Johnson and what they've went through this year is great. For Kentucky, they came in the tournament hot, struggling in the regular season till the month of February. And then I think it was 10 straight wins until they lost to Vanderbilt. And this team, is one of those teams that's flying under the radar that could possibly win the whole thing because they're not getting talked about enough. But I think their season falls short here to Kansas State. At 515, my title pick is still alive in Marquette. So obviously I have to go with Marquette here over Michigan State. But don't sleep on those Spartans. If Tom Izzo can win this game, I think it's for almost one of the most tournament wins of all time. And I think it's for Sweet 16 appearances. I think he will have the most. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I saw stats somewhere along those lines. But I think Marquette, will get to him with their defense. Shaka Smart, his experience coaching, 2 experienced coaches in the tournament. And so Marquette's a team that flew way under the radar right now in the seeding. It's a 2 seed. They're probably one of the better seeds now to possibly make a run if they can get by Michigan State. Where the Spartans, it seems like when they are a lower seed, they do make a run. So I think if you're looking at the games today, I think this will be one of the closest games played. At 6:10, we have St. Mary's and UConn. And this one, I didn't think this would have happened. I thought St. Mary's would have got upset in the first round to VCU, but that did not happen. And here they are. And I think they will lose this one to UConn. UConn is a pick that a few analysts took to get to the Final Four out of this West region. And I think they can at least make a step in that direction with getting this win over St. Mary's to advance to the Sweet 16. 7:10, I am going with Creighton over Baylor in the upset here. I think Creighton is built for the inside game where Baylor is not. They cannot slow anyone down around the rim. They're one of the worst teams in the country doing so. And I got to roll with Creighton. They are a team another in the Big East that has went under the radar because no one talks about the Big East this year. It was more Big 12 SEC play and the chaotic 2 through 10 in the Big 10, where the Big East was just taking care of business, getting teams in the tournament. And so far, they've been winning a few games. So I think they're going to move to the Sweet 16 over Baylor, knock out the 2021 champs. And where Ty thinks Baylor's going to win this one to move to the Sweet 16. So this one is a really coin flip game. At 7:45, we have the 2 upsets with FAU beating Memphis. The 9 seed playing the 16 seed. Yes, the 16 seed beat the number 1 seed, Purdue. And they weren't scared. He said it after they won their first 4 games. They weren't scared. And they came out and took care of business and beat Purdue. But will that run continue? I don't think so. I think they're going to be coming off cloud 9 and they reach the peak in this tournament. And I think FAU will beat them. I don't know about 15. Vegas must know something I don't here. 15 points is a lot for the spread. So I'd probably take FAU in the spread. But FAU, 32-3, their season isn't getting talked about enough. If they win this one, 33-3 heading into the Sweet 16 with a matchup possibly against Tennessee, then, you never know in this year's March Madness. At 8:40, you have a game where I had at least one of these teams being different, either Drake or Kent State getting the upset over these two, but neither of that happens. And now we get to see a good matchup where Miami has had injury concerns. Indiana just has Jalen Hood-Schifino concerns. When he doesn't show up, what happens to this team? I think he will show up yet again, and Miami's injuries concerns will get to them this game. And Indiana is going to the Sweet 16, and it looks like they will be the only team from the Big Ten making it to the Sweet 16, which is crazy to me. And I think Trayce Jackson-Davis is going to have a big game against Miami, and they will face Houston in the next round. In the last game for the second round, you have TCU and Gonzaga. Gonzaga's a 3 seed, TCU is a 6 seed. Gonzaga's, not normally their 1 seed or 2 seed where everyone's talking about them. Here they are at the 3. And what do they get to do if they win this game? They will play UCLA in a rematch from the Final Four matchup. And I like that. I like that on paper. I got to go with Gonzaga here. Even though TCU did have a almost game winner at the end of their game against Arizona State, Gonzaga really took care of business against Grand Canyon. I think they will against TCU as well. I think this will be almost a double-digit win for them as they just take it to them late in the second half. That's going to be it for the Sunday picks. Make sure you guys come back next week to see our re-rank of the 16 teams left and to see our picks for the Sweet 16 and Elite 8. But until the next time, the Bench Buddies are out.
She never called back.